All right. So I found an article on the woman. Uh, she's a retired PhD college professor type thing, and she actually coined the term 29 years ago. Her name is Dana DeFoss, and she came up with the term from a paper that she was writing for graduate school. Uh, and so I have the post here. The article was this is something that she wrote personally for the Huffington Post. So she wrote this is about 2.5 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is 2.5 years old. So it's pretty relevant.
Yeah.
It comes under like Huffington Post personals. So it says, I coined the term cisgender 29 years ago. Here's what this controversial word really means. I coined the term cisgender in 1994. Nearly 3 decades later, the word has had ramifications I never dreamed of. It began innocently enough. I was in graduate school and writing a paper on the health of trans adolescents.
Yeah, okay.
I put a post on alt.transgender to ask for views on transphobia and inclusion on the campus of the University of Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah.
I was struggling because there did not seem to be a way to describe people who were not transgender without inescapably couching them in normalcy and making transgender identity automatically the other.
Yeah, I get it.
I knew that in chemistry, molecules with atoms grouped on the same side are labeled with the Latin prefix cis, while molecules with the atoms grouped on opposite sides are referred to as trans. So, cisgender. It seemed like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I had no idea that hitting enter on that post would start an etymological time bomb ticking.
Yeah.
It took years for the term to take off, and it was not until 2016 that it entered both the Oxford English Dictionary and Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Yeah.
Both attributed the origin of the word to my 1994 post.
Okay.
At first, I found the viral use of cisgender surprising, but did not give it much thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is obvious now that its use isn't a fad. That hit home for me in 2022, when I saw that the Supreme Court of India defined the legal term women as including other than cisgender women. The word cisgender is now an influential force in culture, sexuality, law, and medicine around the world. Before now, I have not spoken publicly or even disclosed my role in the origin of the word cisgender to anyone beyond a few close friends and colleagues.
Okay.
Although I've not yet experienced personal attacks or being associated with its creation, it is painful when people imply it was intended to hurt others. I never believed that adding the word to the lexicon caused problems.
Yeah.
It only revealed them. Whatever the fate of the word, I feel compelled to speak out against the idea that it is hateful.
Yeah.
Even though I never predicted it, the word cisgender is now at the center of a minor maelstrom. Across social media, people say they resent being labeled or having an unwanted term forced on them.
Yeah.
Some call cisgender a slur, as in, I'm not cis, I'm normal.
Yeah.
What should be an innocuous term has spawned Twitter storms from celebrities like William Shatner, who said he feels debased and hated by the use of the term. Cisgender privilege was even the topic of the South Park episode, Sissy. Even some in LGBTQ plus communities have condemned the term cisgender as perpetuating binary constraints on gender. It saddens me to hear that people feel harmed by the word cisgender. Is the creation of the word to blame? No.
Yeah. The context on how it was used.
Cisgender is just a straw man. It is easier to attack a word than to address the reasons people feel intimidated by discussions of gender identity.
Yeah.
The word is a threat because it linguistically separates biological sex from socially constructed categories of woman and man.
I understand how she's saying that. I'm going to debunk that, but go ahead.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
That gender.
And don't give me the side eye, because when I explain it to you, you'll understand what I'm saying.
I know, but there's more. But there's a lot more to the article.
You always do that.
There's more to the article.
I got you.
that gender is a social construction undermines heteronormativity, critical to defending patriarchal sex roles and procreation. It is not surprising that those who have garnered dominance and privilege from traditional gender roles feel threatened and compelled to lash out.
Yeah.
These ideas are not new, but the word cisgender repackages them in a way that is more potent and visceral. Today, enforcers of what I call cis purity are intervening in ways reminiscent of historical measures to eliminate target groups based on identity. In a recent campaign speech, this is at the time because it's 2023 when this was written.
I got you. I
Donald Trump called gender affirming care child sexual mutilation.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
And vowed to use federal agencies and police to enforce its prohibition. If reelected, he promised to pass legislation that codifies the identities of Americans as only cisgender males or females. Such a law would erase the legal existence of trans people, those who are intersex, and any other gender nonconforming individuals. Several U.S. states are introducing legislation to prohibit drag performances. Tennessee Senate Majority Leader Jack Johnson recently introduced legislation to criminalize drag performances in public spaces.
Yeah, no, that's not cool.
Second-time offenders would be charged with a felony with a prison sentence of up to 6 years.
Yeah, no, that's not cool.
As draconian as these laws sound, I am more concerned that they are so vague they will threaten transgender women and others under the sweeping definition of female impersonator.
Yeah, wow.
The past has shown that the first stage of erasing people is to eradicate their history, culture, and literature.
Amen.
As a library worker, today's culture camp horrifies me, and I fear for my colleagues. Reactionaries attack libraries with intimidation, guns, defunding, and even propose librarians be jailed for refusing to comply with anti-LGBTQ+ book bans. The entire full staff of a library in Iowa resigned over harassment for cataloging books with LGBTQ+ content. If militant anti-LGBTQ+ individuals can ban books, what's stopping them from going after LGBTQ+ content on library computers? Will I soon be expected to prohibit library patrons from using computers to read a HuffPost personal article on LGBTQ+ lives?
No.
How do you feel about the article?
I would like to say this one thing to educators. And that's me, myself, being smart. We understand what we mean, but we got to understand that what we say and how it affects the population and the majority. They're not as smart and can sit there and portray certain meanings and get certain definitions. So I'm tired of educators not being aware to that. When you put certain things out there and not understanding how it's going to be perceived by the population, because you should understand that. That's first thing first. Number two, I completely understand what you're saying. You did not understand the repercussions. But one, in our last video, we talked about the definition of how cis women was described in the definition, and that was anybody that was labeled as a woman. So then, that comes the definition, which you may not have any part of, but once again, who adopt words into the dictionary? Number two, the transgender community have to understand that sometimes when you're fighting for your rights, you may be suppressing another individual. And the individual that y'all constantly suppress, that y'all don't realize while y'all fighting for y'all's, are black women. And we get you. I am not transphobic. I'm not against gay. I'm not against the LGBT. I'm a spiritual individual. I don't care. Those labels to me do not apply. But I got to understand that those labels apply to the world. As a black woman, we fought so hard just to be labeled as women. Just that label alone. Not that it matters to me, but in the world that I live in, it's a construct. I have to understand this. I don't move in my head. I move around others. So nobody's suppressing another individual, meaning as far as because I don't like the term. It's coming from a black woman that just had to be fight to be even called a woman. And as for my opinion and many other, once again, these words are inducted into the dictionary that was not given up by my permission. Every part of my life is controlled. So I am not against transgendered or trans women, or for y'all even being called women. I am not that. What I am is still fighting for my place, because that still in some way suppresses me. And once again, I wasn't asked what I thought about it. It was a study that was done and it was inducted into the dictionary. Was not a survey done about if women agree with this term. That's another thing. It wasn't made to suppress. But words are power. And that word was given power. That word was given power. You have to accept that. And it wasn't coined by other individuals. It was something that was in a study and it was adopted in a dictionary.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that you suppressed a group of individuals by that action alone. And it's not hate speech. It's not, on my level, it's not against transgender. It's not against trans women. It is just me being me as a woman, because you want to be who you are. And nobody asked me if I agreed to that term. And if I wanted to adopt it into the dictionary. And we're talking about cis woman because in our previous video, we gave a definition of that.
I guess my thing, like, and I understand where you're coming from, and my question is just that even the thing, even, and I know you're not, against, I know you're not against that
At all.
And I'm just, and I guess I asked the question, I'm like, you know, do you feel that especially like when it comes to like trans women, because it's like, as far as trans women, as far as just like worldwide, you know, there's way more biological women than there are trans women in the world.
Yeah.
There are. So I guess I'm wondering, because they are such a small group of people. It's a small minority of people. And it was like, even in myself, because we as black people, we know how that is, to just being a small group of people, especially here in the United States.
Yeah.
We're a small group of people, but we have power and sway here.
Yeah.
We do. We have power and sway. And I just, I guess for me, and I'm not speaking because I'm part of the LGBTQIA plus community. It's just more of just like, excuse me, that was crazy. I guess for me, I'm wondering, do they really have that much power to sit there and put that on you? You know what I mean? Do they have that much power?
So I'm gonna explain two things. You have to understand, I am not talking about LGBT or trans women. I am talking about a word and how it is used and the definition of the word, and I don't like that. Not associating with the community. So get that correct. Number two, I do believe so. Someone told me that the reason why gay rights and gay movements started was because of white men. Also, I believe the trans movement, also white men. The colonizer has always benefit of being in the LGBT community. So if you want to ask me the question, do they have that much power? Who runs the world?
I mean, white people do.
White men. White men. So yes, because who put this word in the dictionary the way it was written? I guarantee it was a white man. White men. So yes, if you ask me if they have that much power over a black woman, over white men, white women, black men, gay men, trans men, black women, yes. The answer to your question. Because they are the only ones that get shit done in the LGBTQ. They do not care about minority LGBTQs. They do not. But who has pushed that movement has been white men. Jenner. Yeah.
Worst example, but yes.
But this bitch got Woman of the Year.
That's a whole different video. That is a whole different video.
No. That is a testament to exactly that's how much power they got. This bitch got Woman of the Year. Jenner. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the other one.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Caitlyn Jenner.
No,
No, you were talking about Kardashian's mom. Their mother. That's wrong.
So who's the man that turned to
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn
Jenner.
I said Caitlyn the first time. Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
So that is a testament to what the fuck they can do.
Yeah, we're not trying to misgender anybody either.
No,
we ain't trying to.
Don't even go there. Bitch, don't come our way.
We don't do that.
Sis, don't come our way. Yeah. But listen.
We don't do that.
So that's a testament of how much power they got. Because she can get Woman of the Year. And I think, she was only 3 years a woman? 2 years?
Like a year and a half.
Child. So if you ask that question, there you go. There go the answer. Plain in your face, dead.
So I want to,
So I'm not talking about the community. I'm talking about the word and how it's described and how it makes me feel when, unfortunately, I have to understand the world that I live in and how I'm perceived. And it is based off labels.
True. So I also wanted to talk about, you brought up, the trans and trans rights and gay rights being movement pretty much being spearheaded by white men. To be fair and honest, they hijacked that community.
No, I know it was ran by us.
Yeah.
And we did all the work, but who benefited is the we already know.
Yeah.
We always do all the work, and who will have to always benefit it. Just like with the women's movement, black women, and then one white man said, left us fucking behind. But anyway, we know that. Please, yes, because I always want to give credit where credit due. We already know who always does the footwork, but they also who benefits and who hijacks the movement all the time, and it's them. And then and a lot of Caitlyn Jenner, a lot of transgender women, everything they had went through, I'm pretty sure they was upset about her. She ain't have to go through the struggle and everything. And then you present her out here out of all of us. That was a slap in the face to everyone. But once again, how they hijacked the movement.
They hijacked the movement. That's
And
what.
put her woman of the year. Like, sis, you got a custom teller. You don't know about having a tuck and tug twill and using pads and on it. You don't know that.
Right. You transitioned, in your early 60s.
You don't know about how your parents kicked you out and you had to get a mother.
Yep.
Like, you don't know. And you hijacked the movement. And was on front cover like this shit was sweet. So, yeah. That's what they do. And once again, I know it means nothing to you, sis, but they have hijacked the term and sat there and used it to oppress others with. Like they always do.
Oppress and separate us. That's like, for me, the biggest thing.
So educators need to understand when you put certain publications out there, what they will do with it.
Right. And to be fair, about when she wrote this, she was a grad student.
Yeah.
She was
I
a
got
student.
you.
Yeah.
But going forward,
yeah.
Understand how they use your words. And that's for all educators.
Right. And the thing about it is, it's like educators.
Because in everything in America is racist and used to oppress. So when you put it out there, it's going to be used to oppress another individual.
Right.
That's all we about, boo.
Right.
That's all we about.
Right. And she touched on that. She did touch on that in the article.
That's just common sense. Me, I spent years of dumbing myself down to fit to the norm because I just knew just being a smart black woman, an educated black woman, I'll be an outcast. I understood that, which was very wrong for me to do. But that's one thing I understood that they'll never understand.